Hi, this is Gillaspie from Performance Fitness. Today I'm going to talk to you about the squat. The squat is probably the king of all leg exercises, but it's also one of the most challenging. And contrary to popular belief, if you do a squat correctly, it's actually good for your knees. So that's one of the things we're going to talk about today as far as using proper form. There's lots of variations of the squat. I'm going to demonstrate the back squat and front squat with kettlebells today. But let's go over the main points as far as form. First off, just like a deadlift, you want to make sure that you keep your back flat throughout the entire movement, and don't let any rounding of your lower back occur. You want to try to get your depth down as deep as you can, but if your lower back starts to round before you get all the way down, stop there and go back up. You'll actually increase your flexibility over time if you do it correctly. I'm going to use this stick to demonstrate, but you would, if you were doing this in the rack, you would have a barbell. The first thing that I want to talk about when initiating a squat is that you want to start the movement from your hips and not your knees. And you see a lot of people in the gym, as soon as they start to go down, they bend their knees first and let their knees come out forward. That's a no-no. It shoots your knees way over your toes and causes a lot of strain on the tendons and ligaments in the front of your knees there. So what we really want to do is push our hips backwards. So the first movement you do once you have the bar on your back, push those hips back. And from here, your back's in a nice flat position and your hips are ready to take the weight of the load as you go down. So as I go down, I'm going to lower my butt towards the floor. Ideally, if you can, you want to get to where your hip crease is at the same level as your knee joint. That's considered a full deep squat. If you can do that, excellent. If not, go to where you're comfortable. But as we're going down, you want to make sure that you keep your knees aligned over your toes. To look at it from the front here, what I'm talking about is I want to make sure that my knee is staying lined up over my foot the entire time as I go down, especially on the way up as you push up. What you don't want to do is this. And this is kind of like knock-kneed or duck-kneed. And what happens here is if you let your knees bow inward, you cause shearing forces on your joints because you're not pushing in alignment. So if it helps to think about it, actually think about pushing your knees wide as you come up, and that'll really help you with the lift as far as keeping your knees healthy. As far as your stance goes, there's really no wrong way to do it. A narrower stance, as long as you keep your knees tracking over your toes. A narrower stance will work your quads a little more, the front of your thighs. And a wider stance, what we call a sumo stance, or some people call it plie squat, will work your hamstrings and glutes a little more. Either one is fine. Tall people tend to be able to do the wide stance squat a little better because it allows them to keep their chest up more so they don't fold forward too much. But again, a wider squat would look like this. Notice how my knees are still going straight out over my toes and not bowing inward. Okay, on the side. If you don't feel comfortable doing squats with the barbell on your back, an excellent alternative is to use kettlebells or dumbbells and hold them on the front in what's called the rack position, and that's called a front squat. It's excellent for your abs, and you still get all the same benefits without having an uncomfortable bar on your shoulders. Again, that's the squat. Thanks for joining us. If you have any questions or would like further instruction, come on into the gym, or you can schedule a free consultation at 325-5455.